This show is brought to you by Directory.com, the safest way to hire a contractor.
Welcome back to Morning Brew with Homeowners. I'm your host, Dmitry Lipinski, former contractor with 20 years in the trades. Today, we're getting into a big topic, contractor fraud. I want to break down a few of the worst cases I've heard in about few years. A couple of them are right here in Minnesota, but some of them are all over the country. These are truly nightmare experiences for the homeowners. I have two contractors in the studio with me today. Brent Simmons from Nashville. No, you're not in Nashville. You're in Tennessee, just in Tennessee. We're in Tennessee area, Memphis, Tennessee.
Yep.
And Randy Hurtado in Granbury, Texas. Did I get it right?
That's right. You got it.
Welcome to the studio, guys. Quick announcement. I have brand new cups. If you're a fan of the show and you want me to ship you one of these fancy homeowner morning brew cups, comment below. We'll reach out to you and we'll send you some cups. Our first case today, absolutely horrible story of Richard Wooten, career criminal. Richard spent years pulling off scams across Minnesota, my home state here, stealing money from homeowners, businesses, and even car buyers. He promised home remodels, rare cars, and motorcycles before disappearing with people's money. In the end, he ripped off victims for over $1 million. Today, he's finally behind bars, serving a 25-year sentence. Absolutely love when they give sentences to scammers like this guy. The homeowner scam. He ran a fake remodeling company called Crossroads Remodeling, took big upfront deposits. $850,000 were stolen from 42 families. Lied about being licensed. You know, your typical contractor scammer. Then he went to cars and equipment scam and stuff like that. Randy, Brent, why do you think we have guys who does it not only one time or two times, but they have this pattern of doing it over and over again? And I noticed, like, once, even if they get caught for the first time, they rarely change. Do you believe in second chances for contractor fraudsters? How do we stop that kind of behavior?
Well, it sounds like in this case, this guy's been given second, third, fourth, fifth. This guy has been doing this as long as my wife and I have been together, for 34 years. He's first busted in 1990,
Wow.
Right? The sad part is, if you look at the long list of things he's accused of, and clearly he was convicted and got time for, if he would have taken this much effort to put it into a legitimate business, the guy would probably be killing it.
Absolutely. Brent, what's your take on it?
Well, I'm reading some of these different articles about him, and honestly, I bet he was a real personable guy, because to get away with some of the stuff he got away with, he had to win people over on, like, just with his first impression. I mean, the fact that he got 12 different power sports dealerships, like with ATVs, UTVs, he got a Sea-Doo boat, and one of them, it says here, he even went to twice and wrote them bad checks. So he must have something about him where people immediately trust him, which is also kind of scary.
But usually criminals are like that. When we think about serial killers, we imagine this evil person, but usually the nicest guy who you would never think of, likable guy, approachable, good with people, typical manipulator too. My question is, I love this country. And actually my boxing coach last week told me, someone asked him, Dmitry, who is the most American person I know? And you came to mind. I love this country because of opportunities we have here, how easy it is to make money as a contractor. Think about it. You go in, you just tell people, hey, I'm going to build your house, I'm going to build your fence. It's a simple money exchange, simple value proposition, right? Why we have people like this guy who is stealing? Is it because it's easy to steal and get away with it? Because we also have a lot of criminals in this country. Is it because we don't prosecute them? There's just not fear of being locked behind the bars. Why would anyone go and steal $1 million without, being afraid that they'll come after him? I mean, what drives that kind of behavior?
It very well could be that he got away with it a lot longer than they know about, and so he just got bold. When you don't have to work for the money that you've stolen, then life is a little easier, I suppose, right? And
But stealing money is also work. You also
yeah,
have
no
to be
question.
creative. Like committing this kind of frauds and doing, I mean, think about it, doing it over and even to steal $800,000. Yeah, you don't have to work on deliverables, you can close. But I think even in the roofing industry, we have so many cases where people just get away with murder, if you will. They'll go collect a whole bunch of checks. I feel this is just my perception as an immigrant coming from looking from outside in. I feel like people are forgiving. Not many people prosecute. I know a lot of business owners who will not prosecute their salespeople, people who steal their checks, and they're like, it's cost of business. It'll cost me more time than chasing it. People kind of give up on court system and justice system. They're like, I don't want to go to court. Like, is it?
Well, it's not cheap to go to court either. You remember a few weeks back when we had the gentleman that had a bad experience with CMR.
Mhm.
Think about how much money he had to spend on legal fees just to not get sued for paying $25,000 fee for what equivalent to what a $57,000 job that he ultimately didn't do with them because it got hung up in PA court and everything for so long that uh, then he gets served with a letter and he has to go to court for that, and it costs money to sue people. Unless you can get a judgment where your legal fees are part of the settlement, it's expensive. Most people will only sue out of principle. If they have the money, they'll sue out of principle just to stop the guy, for more of an altruistic approach, to stop this guy from doing it to anyone else. In fact, you hear that a lot when people are interviewed after winning in court. They're like, if anything, I didn't do this to get money back. I did this so this guy won't do it to somebody else.
I think it's perception. I think a lot of people think that suing people and reporting people costs money. I think it's our due diligence to do something when it happens to us. Because think about it, this guy got 25 years in behind the bars. Someone came after him. It was a lot of money for them and they went after him. I just got a judgment for a couple $1,000. Well, not a judgment. So someone stole from me here in Minnesota. We're doing a YouTube project. We called 6 painters from Craigslist. This guy came in and asked for $2,000 Zelle down payment. Gave him money. Sure enough, I'll do it tomorrow. We'll call the police, file a report. And 6 months later, he did not show up in court. So police file investigation and he got called to court, did not show up. And the court just notified me last week that now they have warrant for his arrest. $2,000. I didn't have to hire a lawyer. I didn't have to do anything. But it was maybe 1 hour of my time to deal with the police report, telling my story, showing the proof that I sent him money and he scammed it like text messages. It's easier than people think to report scammers. It's hard to sue someone, like sue a corporation, sue ex-employee or boss for not getting paid. But when someone did 100% wrong to you, like if a contractor steals from you, it's very easy to report. It's very easy to take them to court. And most likely, they're not going to show up. And when they're not going to show up, you're going to get a judgment. Once you get a judgment, you go find where they're banking and you garnish the account if there's anything left in it. So that's the pattern. Brent, what do you think?
I think you were talking about this country, and I think overall we are a very trusting people in this country. We assume the best out of everyone. We kind of have that American, spirit. And unfortunately, the downside of that is you have people like this that can take advantage of that system. Just looking at his rap sheet and what he's done, he is chronically, defrauding people in homeowners, businesses, you name it. Really a career fraudster. So, not to get too deep, but what's his upbringing like? Like, at some point he got this in his head that this is how you live life. This is heavy, heavy stuff. So it's like, I don't know. It doesn't talk about that, but I'd be curious to know where he came from.
Most likely he got away with the very, very first attempt. Maybe, my dad would be the living shit out of me, right?
Right.
For doing anything of that scale. So maybe you're right. Maybe he got away and didn't learn his lesson. When we're back, we're going to talk about Charles Workman, pool scammer who accused of stealing over $300,000 in COVID relief funds. Stay tuned. This show is sponsored by Contractor Directory. If you ever hired the wrong contractor, you know it can turn into a nightmare. Directory helps you avoid all of that. Every pro is background checked for criminal and financial red flags. And with a $20,000 guarantee on every job, you are protected if anything goes wrong. It's totally free. Just head to directory.com or download the app from the App Store. Directory, the safest way to hire a contractor.